Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby here, giving you a highlight from an IS-4 that was played during a live stream yesterday. So I'm live streaming my in-game gameplay as it's happening on Twitch TV, which is a service where basically you can watch the live gameplay and you can hear the commentary and you can hear me and Hump and Anjo speaking. So if you want to, I'm going to give you a link and we'll be giving further announcements about when it's going to happen. So, this was one of the games from the session that we played yesterday. We're all in tier 10s on Himmelsdorf, and immediately we can see, thankfully, one of their tier 10s is deciding to be quite aggressive. Real stupid tier 10 there. I don't know, maybe he thought he could power across and then do spotting, but no, it's gone very wrong for him. Putting one through the driver's hatch there, which is still a good target. I'm not conclusive of whether you should try and shoot driver's hatches now or just focus on the lower plate within IS-4. I think maybe the lower plate's better. So there we get the other tier 10. We tracked him. Hopefully Anjo can retrack. Doesn't quite get it, but still puts a flush hit in. So yeah, shout out to Anjo and Humph who were live streaming with me yesterday. We had a few viewers, some good comments, and we try and reply to all the comments we get and all the questions. So yeah, it's a good laugh, and I'll give you a heads up the next time we're going to do it. So what do I think about the IS-4 since it's been moved to tier 10? Well, obviously now it's got excellent health. Its armor was great and still is great against in random play. As soon as you maybe play clan wars and people are firing gold, the situation changes, and when you play against people who know where to aim on it, the situation changes again. However, for anything less than a tier 10 tank or one of the tier 9s with the new extra high penetration, you know, the 122 Russian tank on the ST1 and the IS-8, and also the 120 on the M103 and the T110. They can give it hell because of the extra penetration they have, but the amount of bounces you can pull off in this tank, as we're probably going to show, are going to be incredible. So we had a couple of E50s up on the hill being absolute heroes versus a meat blob, and they took a fair amount of health off them and crippled them. Here we've realised that, so we've pulled back from the middle and ready to set up an ambush. So we can see one pattern being a bit brave. Take him out fairly quickly and create a nice roadblock. Instantly we create a bit of panic among their lines. You can see the excellent absorbing capabilities of the IS-4 there. Even though I was at a horrible tangent to him, I was still able to absorb damage in my tracks. And so I thought, where did that shot come from? I can see I got hit by a pattern because he did some track damage as well. And I couldn't see him. I thought maybe he's just a long way away, but we'll find out in a bit where the hell that little pattern was. So we got another great tracking shot off. I noticed there's an M103 about to flank me, so instead of trying to tunnel vision the T-54, I turn to make sure I'm ready to absorb damage from the 103, which we get a tasty hit off. So again, Anjo got hit out of nowhere. You can see me looking down the alleyway thinking, oh, where did that shot come from? And then about to find out, I figured out the sneaky pattern is probably upstairs. I think I figured that out right about now when he shoots me. So we managed to put one into him, and he'll think about that now that he's only got one shot left. So the game's looking up a bit. We've still got most of our health left, and all three of us are alive. Humph is controlling the middle, and me and Anjo were just trying to see if we could hunt down that M103. We made a decision that he's definitely not coming down, and even if he does, he's only got one shot left in him. Now it's time to move in and try and control the center with Humph. while still keeping an eye on being able to go back into spawn if that pattern in the M103 comes down. So there we can see the Ferdinand, left on half health. Still got some nasty tanks against us, an IS-4 and a Jagdtiger as well, is two rather meaty artillery, who nearly got the jump on me there. That artillery nearly took me out the game fairly hard. I go back to see if I can get a shot off, just can't get the shot. Spotted the Jagdtiger as well there. And there's also the IS-4 in the other corner who had just taken out the Guer with the other Guer in support. So I got a very lucky shot off on there on that M103 who tried to get the jump on me but didn't quite manage it. So I get to go hull down on this position. Andrew gets a nice shot off on their artillery. And we penetrate the Jagdtiger's front plate. Watching that pattern. But even though Anjo was face on in an IS-7 there and he had his lower plate covered, the Jagdtiger still penning him. So we can see at about F7, as I look there, there's an artillery that's going to try and sneak up on us. And we're pretty much surrounded now and it starts to get a little messy from here. So unfortunately, Hump takes a fall from the Ferdinand. I'm waiting for that artillery. I know that he's going to try and sneak up on Anjo. There he is. He just managed to take him out before he gets a shot off. And we want to get out that alleyway with that bloody pattern above us. And oh no, we get ambushed by an IS-4. And then even worse, I get ambushed by possibly one of the last tanks you want to get ambushed by. Instead of turning and duking out with him, I decide to repair because I have to try and help Anjo versus this IS-4. Anjo takes some nice track damage there, probably from the pattern, maybe from the IS-4. Now I take an early shot. Looking back on it, I wish I'd spent a little longer to aim. I take a nasty shell from him. I try and aim at the weak point, but I just missed. I moved slightly to the left with the plate, which meant that I hit his thicker bit of his armour, which was an angle, so I didn't go through. I was trying to aim for the flat bit when you're side on like that, which is the weak point of the IS-4 at 45 degrees. However, now I start bouncing. Switch to the Ferdinand. I want to take him out as quickly as possible. And I'm wondering why Anjo's trying to show his bum to them there. And I just fire after the Ferdinand takes out Anjo. But we've whittled them down. Anjo did a great job taking out that Jagdtiger and took out 4 people. So now he's left us with a fighting chance. So now I get to be a bit more calm and composed and time my shots on this IS-4. Aiming there, and when I see he turns, I take the lower plate. So now I know this pattern is above me. Looking back on it now, I shouldn't have gone out so quickly, but I wanted to try and get a shot off on him, and he got a nice shot onto the front of my track and gave me a headache, to say the least. So now I've only got 1 shot left in me, and he's only got 1 shot left in him. Becomes a bit of a Mexican standoff. So this was very exciting being on the live stream at this point, having bunch of people watching. And yeah, so what am I thinking now? I'm thinking I don't want to go back around that corner because he's aiming down on me. My armor's very, very weak. I want to get some distance between myself and him. So I feel that I really want to try and get into the cap right about now and force him to come and fight me on my terms, rather than try and go after him on the hill where he's going to have a lot more mobility, and my gun depression in the IS-4 is not brilliant either. So yeah, I mean, This is a pretty tense situation. I don't know what he's doing anymore. I'm just trying to figure out how I can best approach my way into his base without encountering him or him getting the jump on me. I think is the most important thing I'm thinking about here. So we haven't seen that pattern in a while. We're not sure where he's going to be. I was worried that he might be trying to cap now. Remember, if you start capping and then they're capping within 10 seconds, then it's going to be a draw. However, if they start capping and then within 10 seconds you get into the cap, you can make it a draw. However, if they're capping and then you haven't capped within 10 seconds, then you're going to lose. So this is what I was hoping here. I still thought he was going to come from that direction when he was going to cap. So I'm keeping an eye out from where I thought he was going to come from. However, this guy was a very smart player. Look where he got to. However, he didn't manage to get a shot off, and now I know about his position. He could have easily won the game there, and that pattern really seemed to know what he was doing. I'm not going to go after him. I could get unlucky. I'm going to keep the pressure on him with the capping and force him to come and play on my terms where I'm ready for him. So I'm keeping an eye out down the alleyway, thinking he's going to maybe come from there, or at least I might be able to get a spot off on him. It's very unlikely that he can pen me from a distance like this, whereas if I hit any part of his tank, it will definitely penetrate. So we're nearly 2/3 capped. He's going to really have to make his move soon. We're going to see what he's going to do. I'm thinking now he's going to come from a different alleyway because enough time has passed that he might be trying to take the long way round. So I figure out if I aim here, then maybe I can catch him. We're about to approach the last 10 seconds, so I figured out he's about to make a dash. Try and reverse around the corner as much as possible, make it a tight angle, and here he comes. He's going to make his move. Unfortunately for him, we put one in his side and win the game. So yeah, well, great game in my IS-4. Fantastic result. It was my first Ace Mastery badge. We got a decent amount of experience and a good amount of credits. So we hit every shot that we fired. I really like this new 122 on the IS-4. And because of that, we managed to pick up a Sniper Invader in a Steel War medal. So yeah, thank you very much to Anja and Hump for the platoon. And thank you to everyone who watched on the live stream on Twitch TV. Pretty fantastic stuff. And I hope to see you guys there soon. So thank you very much for watching my video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this IS-4 gameplay. And thanks to everyone who was watching on Twitch TV. We will be giving further announcements when we're going to be doing some streaming, so keep an eye out. So if you've liked this video, please show it by giving it a like at the bottom. And if you feel so inclined and you want to see more QuickyBaby content, then feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. So good luck on the battlefield, guys, and I'll see you later.